To every ICE agent, police officer, and military service member carrying out these operations, this letter is written directly to you, not to your commanders, not to politicians. To you, the individual human being who will decide in the coming days and weeks what kind of species we become. You hold the real power, not the government officials giving orders, not the billionaires writing checks. You. Every weapon, every vehicle, every tool of enforcement is in your hands. Every arrest, every raid, every separation of families happens because you choose to make it happen. Right now, you are being used to consolidate authoritarian control over the American people. The facts are these. You are operating under the largest expansion of immigration enforcement in American history, $75 billion in new funding, with goals of 3,000 arrests per day and 1 million deportations per year. You are being offered $50,000 signing bonuses and $10,000 annual bonuses. ICE's budget has increased tenfold. Military spending has been pushed over $1 trillion. For the first time in American history, a president has federalized a major city's police force and deployed 800 National Guard troops to patrol the streets of Washington, D.C. But here's what history teaches us about what happens to enforcement personnel like you. And this history is shockingly recent. In NI Germany, H.R. used the SA 2 million brown shirts who helped him rise to power through intimidation and violence. Once H.R. consolidated control, he had them unnated en masse during the Night of the Long Knives on June 30th, 1934. That's the same year Bonnie and Clyde were Ned down, the same year the first laundromat opened in Texas, the same year Donald Duck made his debut in Disney cartoons. Ernst Röhm and hundreds of SA leaders who had loyally served the regime were nated by the very system they had helped create, while Americans were dancing to Blue Moon and watching Clark Gable in It Happened One Night. In the Soviet Union, Stalin used the NKVD, his secret police force, similar to what ICE and the FBI are today, to conduct mass arrests, torture, and elimination during the Great Purge. The Great Purge was Stalin's campaign from 1936 to 1938 to eliminate anyone he saw as a threat: political rivals, military officers, intellectuals, and ordinary citizens. At least 750,000 people were eliminated, with millions more sent to labor camps. The NKVD were Stalin's enforcement arm carrying out these operations just like you are today. They believed their loyalty and service would protect them. Then Stalin nated the NKVD chiefs themselves, first Genrikh Yagoda, then Nikolai Yezhov, who had zealously carried out Stalin's orders and organized the very system of mass arrests they thought made them valuable. Yezhov was eliminated in 1940, the same year McDonald's opened its first restaurant, the same year Casablanca was being filmed, the same year your grandparents or great-grandparents might have been listening to Glenn Miller's In the Mood on the radio. This isn't ancient history. This happened less than 90 years ago. People who witnessed these events are still alive today. Your own grandparents lived through this era. The techniques, the promises, the bonuses, the propaganda, it's all happening again in your lifetime, in your country. The pattern is clear. Authoritarian regimes use enforcement personnel to seize control, then eliminate those same personnel because they know too much, have too much capacity for violence, and become convenient scapegoats. The just following orders defense will not protect you. The Nuremberg trials established permanently that individual responsibility cannot be escaped by claiming orders from superiors. As stated in Nuremberg Principle 4, the fact that a person acted pursuant to order of his government or of a superior does not relieve him from responsibility under international law. Many who thought they were protected by just doing their job were later prosecuted, convicted, and held accountable. And the money they're paying you? It's monopoly money. This $3.4 trillion spending package adds more to the national debt than the actual value of tangible assets on the planet. When this system collapses, and every system built on this model has collapsed, those bonuses will be worthless, and you'll be left holding responsibility for what you did to your fellow citizens. There's an old saying, hard times create strong people. Strong people create peaceful times. Peaceful times create weak people, and weak people create hard times. Right now, weak people seeking power and control are trying to create hard times under the pretense of making things better. But we, survivors of history with access to more information than any civilization before us, have an opportunity to stop this cycle before it destroys everything our ancestors built. For thousands of years, humans fought their way out of caves, out of brutality, out of being animals who preyed upon each other without conscience. Generation after generation died hoping their children could live in something better than what they left behind. Every person who ever fought for freedom, for peace, for liberty, for a chance at a better tomorrow, they are all watching through this moment. By taking away aid from the American people while spending trillions on enforcement, you are spitting on the graves of every human being who worked to build what we call civilization. You are turning your back on the very things that make us human, the very things that distinguish us from animals. Think about your children. Think about your spouse. Think about your parents, your siblings, your friends. While you're in one part of the country arresting someone's family member, your colleagues are in another part of the country potentially arresting your family members. When 60% of arrests are now targeting people without criminal records, when quotas matter more than actual crimes, when anyone can be swept up for any reason, no one is safe. Not even you. Not even your family. Your wife, your children, your parents, they are all just ordinary citizens in the eyes of this expanding enforcement system. The same machinery you're operating today can be turned on them tomorrow. The same quotas you're helping to fill today can include them tomorrow. You have a choice to make. Whose side will you take? Will you stand with a government that sees you as expendable tools, that will discard you the moment you become inconvenient, that is using you to create a system where no one, including your own family, is truly safe? Or will you stand with the citizens who prove every single day that they care about each other? Look around you. Every day, people go out of their way to help each other. People feed the homeless, organize relief efforts, dedicate their wealth to helping others. People show up for their neighbors, their communities, their fellow human beings. When you look at a frightened child, when you see a family being separated, when you witness a grandmother being arrested for a paperwork violation, whose side will you choose? This is not about politics. This is about what kind of species we want to be. Whether we use our tools and technology to elevate humanity or to crush it, you are not separate from the citizens. You are citizens. Your oath was to protect and defend the Constitution and the people of the United States, not to serve as enforcers for authoritarian control. As President Theodore Roosevelt once said, to announce that there must be no criticism of the president, or that we are to stand by the president, right or wrong, is not only unpatriotic and servile, but is morally treasonable to the American public. Today, your current president has made over 100 threats to investigate, prosecute, or punish his perceived critics and opponents. He has called Democrats the enemy from within and suggested using the military against American citizens who disagree with him. He has described his political opponents as evil and more dangerous than China or Russia. This is exactly the kind of authoritarian thinking Roosevelt warned against in 1918, and that pattern led to the elimination of enforcement personnel in every regime that has tried it. The only thing standing between justice and injustice is you. The only thing needed to ensure our children and grandchildren have time to change things properly, to build something truly better, is for you to put down your weapons, turn to face our oppressors, and say, no. For the first time in the history of the United States, the future does not depend on one person, one party, or one government. It depends on individual citizens who were bold enough to put their lives on the line for others in the first place. What are you going to choose? Are you willing to risk everything you have fought to create, your family, your values, your very humanity, in hopes that the horrors you're participating in now will somehow bear fruit of peace? Or will you stand with the citizens who continuously prove they care about each other? History is watching. Your children will someday ask what you did in this moment. The choice is yours. Choose wisely. Choose now. The future of human civilization depends on it. With unwavering faith in humanity and hope for our shared future, the Awakened World Media.